are some Catholics who are disappointed after Pope Francis refused to confirm or deny allegations that he knew about the sexual misconduct of Theodore McCarrick. A prominent professor and Catholic author says he prays the story is not true. Robbie George of Princeton. The allegations, proclaiming them true or false based on ideology, is foolish. Let the facts come out. And joining me now is Robert George, McCormick Professor of Jurisprudence at Princeton University. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on. I wish we were talking about a happier topic, but thank you for having me.
Me too. Pope Francis has said he is not going to say a single word about Vigano's statement. Many say that the fact that he didn't deny it leaves room for suspicion. In Washington, it's called a non-denial denial. Given the daily calls for transparency in this sex abuse investigation, what do you think the Pope could have said?
Well, let's look forward rather than looking backward. What the Pope should do, I firmly believe, is tell us whether the allegations made by Archbishop Vigano are true or false, or if some are true and others are false, tell us which are true and which are false. I do not think that it's tenable for the Holy Father to simply say what he said on the plane on his way back from Ireland, which is that he's not going to comment on these, and he just leaves it to us and to the media to decide for ourselves based on our review of Archbishop Vigano's letter whether what he says is true or false. We really need to know from the Holy Father. Very specific allegations were made by the Archbishop, very specific. They are either true or they.
He asserts in his letter, and he called it testimony, that he personally warned Pope Francis of sexual abuse by former Cardinal McCarrick in 2013. That's 5 years ago, and nothing was done. What do you make of the timing of this statement? Why go public with these allegations now?
I do not know why Archbishop Vigano waited. We should hear more from Archbishop Vigano. He should answer those questions. It's not simply Pope Francis that's the only one who should be telling us more, who should be talking. The Archbishop should be as well, because there are legitimate questions. Evidently, Theodore McCarrick, when, according to Archbishop Vigano, he was under discipline from Pope Benedict, appeared at masses. He said mass. He appeared at other functions. Evidently, at one, Archbishop Vigano himself was there and participating. We need to know what's with that. Why was Archbishop Vigano there? Why did he not blow the whistle on McCarrick violating his disciplinary obligations? So we need to hear more, and we need to withhold our final judgment on these things until the facts are brought out. We need a full and independent investigation, and we need cooperation from everybody involved, from the Holy Father all the way on down. Anybody who knows anything about this needs to speak up.
Let me ask you this. As a Catholic, as a faithful person, I've spoken to many people who say, I don't know what to do anymore. Who do I believe? What do I watch? What do I do? Give us some perspective. What can you tell them?
That's it. You want to know who to believe? Believe Jesus. That's who to believe. Our faith is in Jesus. Our faith is not in Pope Francis or Pope Benedict, or it's not in St. Peter. Our faith is in Jesus Christ. That's what it means to be a Christian. Now, the church is the mystical body of Christ on earth, but that doesn't mean that the members of the church, even the officials of the church, are necessarily free from corruption. The church, including her highest officials, has, over the course of history, on many occasions fallen into corruption. It looks like there's a lot of corruption, a terrible amount of corruption in the church today, and it might go all the way to the top. We don't know all the details, but our faith is not in flesh and blood. Our faith is in Jesus Christ. That's what we believe. And we believe that what the church teaches us is true because Jesus promised us that the gates of hell will never prevail against his church. So let's do our part. Let's remain faithful to the authentic teachings of the church that have been handed down to us from the apostles. We need to distinguish the offices, such as the papacy, from the people who occupy the offices at any particular point. They are frail, fallen human beings. They sin the way we do. But the office has dignity and it has significance, and we have to respect the office, while at the same time demanding accountability even from those who are occupying the offices. This is a time of testing for all Catholics, lay Catholics, clergy, all the way up. This is a time of testing, and we must pass the test. And to pass the test, we need three things: fidelity, fidelity, fidelity.
Thank you so much. Robert George, McCormick Professor of Jurisprudence at Princeton University.